in general, we live in a world where what matters most is how people feel. And that's not true. That's not the world in which we should be living. That's what goes on today, as I'll perhaps discuss that further in a moment. But so this particular young man, journalist, well known in the country also as a journalist, and it's known who his father is, it's known his background. So he made this announcement. Should he have made this announcement? Definitely not. But having done so, is it something that other people should now relate to and talk about ad nauseam, or is it perhaps better to ignore it altogether, or not say anything, or if say something, it has to be said in a very particular way? And I was made aware last night that a certain Rav, of whom I have heard, and is apparently a Adam Gadol, a very serious person, Tamid Chachamim, wrote a response, but in such a tone, in such a way that basically, like in judo, you're using the energy and the power of your opponent to your advantage. So he took this statement, this announcement of this young man, and essentially turned it around in a very, very clever way. He's a very clever person. He also happens to have dealt a great deal with this issue. So he knows a lot about the subject, and he wrote something very, very clever and very, very gentle and very, very profound. But so in perhaps that response was actually a desirable and positive response. But just to come out and raise it and lambast this person and thus ensure that it is something that everyone's discussing more and more, that's not necessarily a good idea at all. Sometimes it's better, even though what this person did is wrong and what he's saying or his, if is it likely that some people will find in such an announcement a justification for what they want to do or what others are doing? Yes, it's certainly possible. That's why it's a sword. That's why it shouldn't be done, whether it makes him feel better or not. But it's not always the case that being muchiach in such a case, especially if it's barabim, is the right thing to do. It's not necessarily the correct choice. I said before something about living in a world where what counts is what the main consideration is how people feel. What people claim that they feel, which is perhaps very true sometimes, and other times disingenuous. But the feelings are what makes the world go round. Now, no one's denying that human beings have feelings. The psyche and emotions, etc., are part of a normal, healthy human being. True. But feelings are not how we should make major life decisions as individuals, nor certainly not how society should run its affairs.